Alright, Shalom, brothers. Back again with another lesson. First, I want to give all praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Right, and of course, double honors to the elders. Alright, and honors to you brothers out there in the camps, speaking against the so-called white man and speaking against all these false doctrines. Alright, and basically standing for the truth. Alright, because we know we're in those last days. Okay. And you definitely, one of the signs of knowing we're in these last days are these you seeing all these crazy chariot sightings, all right, which is going to basically lead into my lesson, okay? Because not too long ago, this is what, a week ago, week and a half ago or something like that, you had this major chariot sighting over there in the land of Israel, in Jerusalem, right? This chariot basically was floating in the sky, and it flew down and hovered just feet above the top of the dome of the rock, alright? And it hovered there for a little while, it hovered, it stayed there, and then out of nowhere, just a bright light flashed, and it just bolted the hell off, right? It was gone, alright? And get ready to see plenty of more chariot sightings like that. That was a major chariot sighting, okay? Why? Because one, you know, by reading, what is it, Zechariah the 5th chapter, how it talks about they shall enter into the land of the thief. Alright? In fact, let me read that real quick. Then we're going to read this here, this on the screen. Okay? Let's go to Zechariah the 5th chapter. Give me 1 second. Just read it kind of quick. It says Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side, according to it. And or bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and with the stones thereof. Now, of course, primarily that's talking about America, okay? Because this is the house of the thief, alright? The white man, the so-called white man, got it by taking it from the people who are already living here. But wait a minute, is not also the land of Israel in that same category? Because that's our land, alright? That's our homeland. Alright, it said it shall enter into the house of the thief, the so-called white man in these other nations, but primarily the so-called white man. Alright, the Amalek, the so-called Jews, took our land and basically put us out of it. Alright, and they swear that they're so-called Jews. They really think that they're the real Jews. Alright, which they're not. Okay, so that's why you got that chariot sighting over there. Alright, that major chariot sighting. And also, the main thing, which is going to be the premise of this lesson, is by those chariots, alright, the world's going to know who the nation of Israel really is today, alright? Because you got those that are in the know, you know, aka the Illuminati, high up level Freemasons, and these other secret societies. They know who the children of Israel are today, alright? You got even, was this guy Rothschild, the Rothschilds, they know they're of the house of Edom, okay? But these nations, the top guys in these nations, know who we are today. They know who the true children of Israel are, alright? Which is why, according to Psalms 83, which we're going to get later, they're trying to keep us from being a nation, because you can't just keep somebody from being a nation if you don't know who they really are, right? You gotta, they know that we have power, okay? And we're going to read scriptures on that, okay? So, but first we're going to start here. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. It says, Then shall a righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. Alright, which is why you got the camps out there. Alright? Speaking the word of the Heavenly Father. Pulling down strongholds, okay? Cursing out the so-called white man. Cursing out our people. Trying to wake our people up, okay? And we're doing that basically in the face of death, in the elements. Psalms 23 says that we walk in the valley of the shadow of death. All right, so we're out there doing that, knowing that at any point we can be taken out. Okay, that's why it says, shall stand in great boldness. All right, verse 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far all that they look for. Why? Because the world expects, one, the salvation to come. There's going to be this big spectacular battle between the devil, all right, who the world knows as the devil, all right, and the Lord, and they're going to be fighting. There's going to be angels and demons and all that, and then we're going to be taken up in clouds, in literal clouds. We're going to be butt-ass naked, and angels are going to be naked playing harps and all this and that, all right. It's going to be all happy and merry, That's what the world expects concerning the salvation of the Lord. When little do they know, one, the salvation of the Lord is only coming to the nation of Israel, all right? And two, that those so-called UFOs, which they call UFOs, all right, unidentified flying objects, those are going to be the source and the cause of the salvation of Israel. And two, they're going to be simultaneously the cause of the destruction of America, along with those thermonuclear ICBMs that are going to be launched from those other nations. Okay, that's what it says. That and was it in Peter's, I believe, that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. All right, because it's going to all happen basically simultaneously. All right, and the elect of Israel are going to be saved by those so-called UFOs. And read this last verse. It says, and they, repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit, shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. Basically meaning, starting with the so-called white man, and of course trickling down to the other nations. They're going to remember all their wickedness throughout history that they've perpetrated towards the nation of Israel. All right, slavery, the slave trade. All right, they're going to remember all those wicked acts that you read in the accounts of the Maccabees. All right, they're going to remember why they built a monument called the Ark of Titus. All right, they're going to remember what they did, how they damn near eradicated the entire northern kingdom that was over here in the Americas. All right, they're going to remember all the syphilis that they put. All right, the Tuskegee Syphilis Project. And they did that to the native tribes down there in South America. I believe it was Guatemala.
Conducted 60 years ago.
Just not too long ago, you had that bitch
scientists apparently
Hillary Clinton
infected Guatemalan
basically
prisoners
giving an
with
apology
syphilis
for them
to test the
experimenting with
effectiveness of
syphilis
penicillin
on
for
the
treating
native tribes
sexually
down there, the
transmitted
Latin
diseases.
tribes. All right?
Secretary of State Hillary
So the
Clinton
so-called
says
white
she
man is
is
going to remember all that
outraged
shit.
by the
It's
reprehensible
going to come to
research.
mind while his
An
ass is about to
investigation is
get blown
underway
the
into
hell
exactly
up.
what happened and
Okay?
to make sure today's stricter
So now,
regulations are adequate
let's go
enough
ahead to Numbers
to prohibit
13.
such
Okay, and I'm going to go
research
through
today.
a few of these scriptures basically to show that how exactly these nations know who we are today. All right, and there's a key word that pops up in all these scriptures, because this was a couple weeks ago I was watching the elders on GMS tube, and it was the Dominican brother was speaking, and he said, they kind of went into it a little bit. He basically said these nations know who we are. All right, and they went into a couple scriptures. They went into the account of the Judith, which we're going to get to. All right, which we're gonna, and basically that's true when you read through all these scriptures. All right, these nations know who we are. That's why you got that's why you got perpetrators over there, like I mentioned earlier, in our land right now, claiming that they're us. All right, and they're not, because they know that the 12 tribes, all right, they got power with the Heavenly Father. All right, one that the Heavenly Father's chosen, and the Heavenly Father's looking out for them. All right, and these people have a great history in the Bible. Okay, so but we're going to get all into that. So let's start here in Numbers 14. It says, and Moses said unto the Lord, then the Egyptians shall hear it, for thou broughtest up this people in thy might from among them. And they will tell it to the inhabitants of this land, for they have heard that thou